Okay, so I raised the engine up a 1/4 inch on one side. I actually changed the mount to a bigger mount. And now my hood doesn't latch like the way it used to. Weight reduction, bro. It's only 2 pounds, but hey, 2 pounds is 2 pounds. You can see where there used to be like a cross brace. There's still lots of bracing all the way around, but any interference here is now gone. So I took some masking tape and I put it upside down on the high spots, and I closed the hood. The tape would stick to any spots where there was interference because I wasn't sure where it was touching. Yeah, I just opened her up here in the center. That makes her close now. She actually closes now. Ta-da! So this hood, it has vents, but they're not functional. They do have screen, like air can get through the vent because there's a screen there. It's open, but under here it's all closed. So I think I'm just gonna start cutting here, and I may or may not take those vents out so I don't damage them, especially back here because it's close. The plies are closer together back here. So I'm just gonna cut the inner ply out, and basically it should be open to the screen like that. I've got the angle grinder with a thin cutoff wheel, and I've got a bunch of covers to keep the sparks off of anything important, and I've got a fire extinguisher just in case. Could be the world's first functional GTA induction. So I cut back here carefully because it's really close to the plastic vent here. So across the back corner I was very careful going back, and I didn't cut all the way through here. I just did I scored it. So I made it weak. I didn't want to plunge all the way through because that plastic vent is right there. The corners aren't exact, but they should break off. Weight reduction, bro. This piece here, I broke it off on the passenger side. Clearly it's not cut all the way through. Ta-da! You can see daylight right through there now. Friggin' rights. I've got a pile of sheet metal here, pieces, and it's probably, if you count what I removed down below here, I figure there's a solid 3 pounds there, and I was careful not to damage the outer skin or weaken the hood too much. Hood vents are now functional. They're functional now, guys. I've got one of those LED like Night Rider scanners. There's a bunch of LED lights on a strip, and maybe I could stick them in there now. Stick them in behind there, and you might be able to see them through the mesh. Wouldn't that be awesome? So the hood closes, clears the engine, and it almost looks stock. You can't really tell, but I'm pretty happy about the way the hood turned out. I did an alignment on the headlights the other day because I had them all apart, and I painted the frames, changed the relay. That's what the hood looks like. There's extractors at the back of the hood too, and they have like side vents. So these are the heat extractors at the back near the fender, antenna, windshield. Near the hood hinge, that's where the heat extractors are, and there's a couple of dirty old holes there. Dirty old holes, yuck. But if you look on the right angle, you can see the daylight through there. Personal injury. Personal injury in there. So right about there is where the hood closes. So personal injury. Right about there. That's where the air is coming in. So it's close to the intake. I've never seen anybody else do this before, but I think it's kind of cool. I'm sure it's probably been done before, but who knows? Maybe it's the first functional Trans Am hood vents. Okay, I'm gonna drill a hole here. This is where the heat extractor is. Okay, so there in this hole here, there's a tab, and I drilled a hole here, and there's another tab where I drilled the hole. And if you hit those tabs, you can pop out the vent. Okay, I drilled some holes here. 6 smaller ones. There's 3 there. 3 there. I'll just keep enlarging them with the Christmas tree bit and see how big I can go. I guess that might be enough. This is the driver's side, and I haven't done this one yet, but you can see that it vents like outwards. Over here on the passenger side, I'm venting it inwards towards the center, towards the engine. Not too bad. It pops right in. Well, you turn it around 180 degrees and it just pops right in. And I made 2 extra holes here to access the tabs. So there's like a locking tab that holds it in, and these holes here give me access. Over on the driver's side, I did pretty much the same thing. Drilled about 10 holes. So I'm going to stick this hood vent in reverse, or inward, same as I did on the other side. And that's what the heat extractors look like looking out from the inside. I didn't go too crazy back here where the heat extractors are, because there's some good size holes here, and there's also the hinges here, and the hood is heavy, so I want it to be strong here. So I just drilled some round holes all along. On the driver's side here, I've actually run a wire. The wire comes out this bottom hole here, and I left a little bit of wiggle room because the hinge, and I strapped it to the hinge, and I can open and close the hood, and this seems to be okay here, this wire. So the wire goes down the hinge, up in the framework, and it comes out here, the wire, to this RBG LED light strip, light bar. This is like a flexible strip. So in the store they have this like test me button, but when I was in the store and I seen this thing, I pushed the button and I got this Knight Rider scanner that goes back. It's red and it goes back and forth just like Knight Rider, but it has way more than that. It has like blue, green, all different colors and different patterns and strobes. So it's hard, probably not easy to see it right now in the daylight, but I think if I turn this around and point it out through the vents, and you'd probably see it through the vents. You'd have to see Knight Rider to understand what this is or what the point of it is. So in the 80s, there was a TV show with David Hasselhoff, and he drove a Firebird, a Trans Am, and it was a computer car, and it had a scanner on the front, and the scanner had this red light that went back and forth. I was gonna wait for it to be a little bit darker. Sun's starting to go down right now. I'm not sure if you can see it or not.